Happy Sunday. This is Vlogmas day 7, I believe. I just want to share this grocery haul with you. So my husband picked us up, well, and you can see he took one, some of the cranberry winter Sprite, almond milk, garlic bread, some macaroni and cheese. Khaleesi has already taken one of the macaroni and cheese. I guess my family is just hungry today. Some lasagna pasta, spaghetti pasta or spaghetti noodles. For produce, we have Roma tomatoes, romaine lettuce, bell pepper, green onions, sliced watermelon, bananas, onions, and pink lady apples. Got a case of water down there. And then over here, we got some mini frozen pancakes, some thick and fluffy waffles. You guys already know that's my family's favorite waffles. Some 5-cheese Texas toast, potato skins, some of this deep dish crispy DiGiorno pizza. So my husband just wanted to try these. I don't know if they're good or not, but I'll keep you posted. They're the extra crunchy chicken taquitos, some pizza bagels, 2 things of spaghetti sauce, heavy whipping cream, cream cheese, pepper jack cheese, some sharp cheddar cheese, Parmesan and mozzarella cheese, ground turkey, some Parmesan smoked sausage, and then 5 things of spaghetti sauce. Okay, you guys, so I'm currently making the kids some spaghetti. I'm making their spaghetti first, and then I'm gonna make lasagna for my husband and I. And clearly I'm gonna have to share this, the lasagna with like my father-in-law and whoever else wants some, because we're not gonna eat all the lasagna, but the kids won't eat lasagna, they only eat spaghetti. Typically, I try to make the lasagna and the spaghetti at the same time, but not today, because I don't want to use as much sauce in the lasagna. So I just went ahead and decided to make the spaghetti first so I can get that out the way. And honestly, the kids act like they're starving, so they can be eating while the lasagna is baking. Okay, you guys, so I just got done making the spaghetti and the garlic cheese bread. And then typically when I make spaghetti sauce, I try to take a little bit out and freeze it. So when there comes a day where I just don't feel like cooking, or I'm just too tired, too busy, whatever the case may be, I have some spaghetti sauce. All I do is label it and put it in the freezer and try to make sure there's not like a lot of air in it. I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit more before I put it in the freezer. But I'm gonna fix the kids' plates and then start making the lasagna. Alright guys, we're about to go ahead and dice up the veggies. Basically, we're making this like we would make spaghetti, okay? So we're gonna use, for the most part, the same vegetables. I do add half of a red bell pepper in my lasagna. Sometimes I Sometimes I add red bell pepper to my spaghetti, but not typically. In Vlogmas day 3, I was cooking in the kitchen, and I told you guys to leave me some questions down below, and I would answer those questions while the next time I cooked. So here we are in the kitchen, and so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to be touching my phone because then I have to keep washing my hands. So I have my phone set up over here, so hopefully it works with me, y'all. First question comes from Lily Daniels 2413. Her question is, my question is, how do you keep the kids from messing up your house? The funny thing is, you guys, I feel like that's one of the misconceptions on my channel, on both of my channels. I always get people asking me, how do I keep my house so clean? How come my house is never messed up? And I always try to tell people that's not the case. You guys, my house gets dirty just like everybody else's house. I don't know why nobody thinks this house gets dirty. Trust me, I'm constantly cleaning for a reason, because it's constantly getting messed up. And I do mean constantly. Now, everybody has their level of what they consider to be messed up or dirty. So I don't like to be in a dirty, cluttered space. So of course I cannot let my space look too bad, because my OCD, everything, it would just make me, it gives me a headache, makes me itch. I ain't lying either, you guys. I wish I was exaggerating. That's why I'm constantly cleaning. I'm not telling you guys you should constantly be cleaning your houses nonstop the way I do, because it's a very overwhelming feeling, but it will be a worse feeling for me if I did not clean it as often as I do. So my kids definitely junk up their kids. They definitely mess up their rooms. They definitely make forts in my house. They do all kind of stuff. But at the same time, it doesn't get too crazy, because basically my rule is, if you play with something, if you bring something downstairs and you're playing with it and you want to move on to the next thing, then you need to put that first thing up that you were playing with. That doesn't always work, but I try to do that, and that does help. Also, my kids don't tear stuff up. So people do ask me that, how do you get your kids from not like breaking your stuff or tearing your stuff up? I don't really know the answer to that, except you gotta teach them early to respect your items, to respect their items, to respect the items that are in the house. You have to teach them how to, I don't know, just how to take care of things. I've always taken care of all of my things since I was very young, and my husband is the same way. So we just teach our kids to respect the things that people purchase them, the things that we purchase them, the things that we purchase for the house. So hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, I'm so sorry. The second question comes from Adrian Knight, 3695. You guys, I'm getting close to my phone so I can read it. She says, "Hi Shanthi, I enjoy watching you cook. Will you ever write your own cookbook?" Yeah, that is the goal one day, actually. One day I would love to write a cookbook. I don't know exactly when. About a year ago, I thought I was actually going to start on that. And I'm not going to say I didn't start on it. I kind of started on it, but it just went on the back burner. So yeah, one day that is the plan. I do plan on writing my own cookbook. Wanda Hill Bernie, 5199. Hey Wanda, girl, you're always commenting. I appreciate you. But your question is, let's see here. Your question is, what is my favorite hobby? And my favorite hobby is shopping. That's my favorite thing to do. I don't know if shopping will be considered a hobby, but it is to me, and that's my favorite thing to do. At Penny Taka 6751, I hope I said that correctly. Do you ever have any plans to travel? If so, you would love New Zealand and Australia. So yes, we definitely have plans to travel. My husband and I in the new year, we were talking about getting our passports. We've been talking about this for a couple years. This is not nothing new, but we haven't got one yet, so I've never been out of the country. So yes, I do have plans to travel. I'm not exactly sure when we'll first go out of the country, but I definitely want to travel. I definitely one day would love to be well traveled. I love different cultures and I love new experiences. So that's definitely the plan one day. And I would love to visit New Zealand, Australia. I don't really have a place where I necessarily wouldn't go. Okay, so we're gonna move over to the skillet and then I'll continue to answer the questions. Since we're making this like spaghetti, I have some oil and some garlic here in the skillet. And I'm just gonna add the rest of my veggies. I already have my water boiling for my lasagna noodles. I just let the veggies cook for a couple minutes till they get translucent, and then I'm gonna add in the ground turkey. Beverly McCormick 4264. Hi Beverly, you always leave comments as well. You're so sweet. Your question is, well, you said, "Hi hun, I keep forgetting that you have an older daughter because I don't see her often in the videos. How old is your older daughter?" It's funny because a lot of you guys have questions about Soraya. That's her name. And she's 18. She turned 18 in July. The reason why you guys don't see her is because she doesn't want to be filmed, you guys. I'm not going to make my children be filmed. Khaleesi and Junior love to be on my channel, but there's a difference. I started my YouTube channel almost 5 years ago. Next year, at the end of February, it'll be 5 years. So Khaleesi and Junior were 2 and 3 when I started my YouTube channel. Soraya was already, what, like 13? And so she's just not a fan of it. Every blue moon, she'll let me record her, and I'm just appreciative when, you know, she's okay and willing to be filmed. I don't ever want my children to do something that make them uncomfortable. So that's why you guys don't see her, but she lives here at home. She's always around. I just don't film her. All right, so I'm just putting my ground turkey in there. I'm gonna use some Lawry's. Garlic powder. Black pepper. I'm gonna go ahead and brown this up, make my lasagna noodles, and as I'm assembling the lasagna, we'll proceed with we'll continue with the questions, because this is too loud and I don't want to annoy anybody with that sound. So.
I can't take this anymore. You say we're done, but you still want more. Baby, what I need is you out the door.
You guys, I almost forgot we were making Alfredo sauce, because we're gonna put Alfredo sauce in lasagna. And this is the first time that I've done this. I need half of that? Yeah. So this will be the first time you're doing this. I've seen this on TikTok, on Instagram. You guys probably have seen it too. People are adding Alfredo sauce to like their baked spaghetti and lasagna, so I wanted to give it a try. This is probably about 3 ounces of cream cheese, about 3 tablespoons of butter. So I guess I can answer another question. I'm gonna kind of let this melt before I add the heavy whipping cream. at Jackie Home Child Care Space 9822. Hey Jackie, you always leave questions as well, or comments rather. Hi Shanthi, here's my question. I do a channel about my home preschool, and then you put in parentheses, shorts mostly, but it's struggling. Any suggestions on how to breathe life into it? Okay, so Jackie, first, I don't do shorts. Not that I'm not gonna ever do one, but I just have never done one thus far. And so I don't know if I'm the right person to ask, because I don't have a channel that's predominantly based on shorts. So I'm sure that's a little bit different. But I will say this, I did click on your channel, and what the first thing that came to my attention was this. Your titles, in my opinion, and I'm just trying to offer constructive criticism. Your titles are not detailed enough. A couple of them were just like the dates. You know, it just wasn't as detailed. I would put things in my title, like if you're teaching something, let's say you're teaching a lesson, or you're teaching, in that short, you're teaching a child how to count or read, I would put how to teach your 6-year-old to read, how to teach your 6-year-old to count. A lot of people look for how-tos on YouTube, and so because your platform is basically like you're teaching or you're trying to have someone learn something, I would make my titles more detailed. I hope that helps. Can you come open this for me, please? Please hold, y'all, because the heavy whipping cream does not want to open. Alright, so I'm going to use some heavy whipping cream. That was maybe a cup and a half, 2 cups, I'm not sure. But we're going to continue to let the cream cheese and the butter melt. And then to that, we're going to add some, where's it at? Oh, y'all, I'm tired at this point. To that, we're going to add some shredded Parmesan cheese. That was about 3 ounces of shredded Parmesan cheese. Alright, you guys, so the ground turkey is done. Now I'm going to go ahead. I just can't open nothing. Now I'm going to add the spaghetti sauce. This is spaghetti sauce I use. I just put my lasagna noodles in because I forgot to do that. Okay, so to this I'm going to add some chili powder and some sugar, because it still needs the sugar. And I'm going to stir this out.
Keep it in your pocket for safekeeping. Don't ever let nobody be the reason.
And then earlier I had cooked this sausage. I'm going to add this in here. You can add Italian sausage to this or whatever you like, but we like using these Parmesan links. And I'm just going to let all these flavors marry together for about a minute or so.
But sometimes you fall. Yeah, sometimes you fall.
So back over here, I had turned the Alfredo sauce on low, and it's done. Gonna add a little parsley to it. Okay, guys, so that's done. So in the meantime, I'm gonna clean up my space a little bit. I'm not gonna show that, but I need to also grate the pepper jack cheese. So I'm gonna clean this mess up right here. I'm not gonna show myself doing that, but once I'm done cleaning that up, I'll grate the pepper jack cheese, and then we'll start to assemble the lasagna.
Sometimes you fall. Yeah, sometimes you fall. Sometimes you fall.
Okay, you guys, so now we're gonna start to put together the lasagna. Put a little bit of the meat mixture down at the bottom. Okay, so we're putting more meat mixture.
Ooh, yeah. Keep it in here and lock it. Keep it in here, don't knock it. Before you try being on your own side.
Now you guys, I don't use ricotta cheese. My husband does not like it. So if you use ricotta cheese, this will be the point that you do that. But for me, I'm gonna add just some mozzarella cheese. Gonna add some pepper jack cheese. Sharp cheese, And then this is where we're going to add the Alfredo.
Sometimes you fall. Sometimes you fall.
And then I'm going to finish up the last couple questions, so I'm not going to repeat the steps because you just see me do them, okay? Lisette5821, she says, "Hi Shanthi, one question I did have was what made you want to do YouTube? And if you thought about maybe..." Honey, can you cut that off real fast or put your earphones on? Because I'm trying to read these questions.
Wait, say shout out from me, Junior. Tell them a shout out to Karen.
Oh, I already shout out Karen in the last video. Junior knows I'm my business, okay? She said, Junior said shout out to Karen again. So now I got to start over.
Shout out to Karen. She's a big fan of my mom.
Okay.
Huge shout out.
Okay, thank you. So one question I did have was what made you want to do YouTube, and if you thought about maybe the negativity in the comments, and how was it for the first time recording yourself? Now are you comfortable in front of the camera, and do you let the negative comments affect you? I apologize if this is too personal, but it can be good advice for people who would want to start a channel. You're absolutely correct. This would be good advice. I don't think that this is too personal at all. I'm pretty sure I've answered questions like this in the past, but the very first question was what made me want to do a YouTube channel, and that's a very simple answer for me. When I used to watch YouTube all the time, I started watching cleaning videos, and I was watching homemaking videos, and I was watching women take care of their homes and, you know, just do things around the home that they typically do. And I thought to myself, wow, I could do that. That's something that I do all the time. Also, I wanted there to be, at the time when I was watching YouTube, I'm not going to say there wasn't any women of color, because there was, but there just wasn't a lot of representation for women of color. And so I thought that not only could I show all women what I do, but I thought I could be a positive representation of what women of color represent in their homes as well. Another question you had was, let's see. Did I think about the negativity in the comments? Of course, I thought about that. That was one of the things that kind of, I don't know. I had a hard time with that. If it wasn't for me like overthinking that, I would have started YouTube way before I actually started. But thinking about the negative comments, you guys, I mean, you know, nobody wants to deal with negative comments. Nobody wants to deal with negativity, period. So I would say that was definitely a deterrent. But then I was like, you know what? Who cares? Like, I'm not really a person who cares about what many people have to say, especially if you're negative. If you're negative and you want to be a mean person, that's on you. So I don't know. I just was like, forget that. I'm not going to let that deter me. Also, my husband kept telling me, like, nah, you know, don't let that hold you back from what you want to do. How was it the first time recording yourself? It was so weird. It was weird. I felt very awkward because, yes, in hindsight, the videos go out for people to see, but you sitting there talking to yourself. You know, you're sitting there talking to, and my first video was a sit down video, and I was talking directly to the camera. It was very awkward. It was very awkward. It says, now am I comfortable in front of the camera? So I guess I'm going to say yes, I'm comfortable in front of the camera. I'm comfortable in front of the camera, but I don't like attention, you guys. So it's very hard for me to put my face on camera all the time. If you guys pay attention to my videos, in comparison probably to other vloggers, you don't see my face as often as you see their face. And this don't count right here because I'm making something. But I don't really like attention like that, so I don't really like showing my face like that, but I am comfortable because I do it. Do you let the negative comments affect you? Nah, I don't let them affect me because I just address them. Y'all know how I do. If it's something that I don't like, people, look, the thing about it is no matter if you're on camera or off camera or whatever it is that you do in life, people are always going to have something to say. The people are always going to have an opinion, and there's nothing wrong with opinions. Everybody has opinions. I have opinions. There is something wrong with somebody just being blatantly negative and disrespectful. I don't understand that logic. I don't understand that way of thinking, no matter what you're doing. And then there's some people who are like, well, you put yourself out here, so, you know, just be prepared for it. That's fine. Be prepared for my response as well. You guys, I'm not phony or fake. So if I always tell y'all, keep it classy, and I will too. I really mean that. Like, I'm not going to belittle myself. There's comments that I've deleted before, and they're just, you know, they don't even deserve energy. Like, they don't deserve a response. But there's times where I'm like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and address this because I'm sick of people saying it. Or I'm sick of somebody bringing it to my attention. I'm not perfect. I've never proclaimed to be perfect. So, I don't know. I think some people just take things too far. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't want to keep going on about that. I don't let it affect me. Because, like I said, if you want to be nasty, you want to be rude and mean about something, you know, I can be nasty and rude too. I don't like to be nasty and rude, but you get what you give. Moving on, Justice Smith 1934 says, my 2 questions are, does your husband like doing his YouTube channel? And do you have relatives that live in the South states like Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, and Texas? Yes, my husband definitely loves doing his YouTube channel. He's actually in there editing right now. He absolutely loves it because that's his passion, low writing. So he definitely loves it. And do I have relatives that live in the South? I do not. However, my husband does. My husband was born in Georgia, so he has a lot of family that live in Georgia. He has family that live in Alabama. And I think primarily, yeah, I think his mom's family comes from Alabama. Not I think. His mom's family is from Alabama and his dad's family is from Georgia. I do? That's not the South. That's Oklahoma. My husband trying to correct me, you guys. My mom's family is from Oklahoma, but that's not considered the South, is it? I don't think that's considered the South, but my mom's family is from Oklahoma. My dad's family is from California. Charlotte Smith 6914 says, I remember in your last vlog that you mentioned about asking you questions. My question is, have you ever thought about becoming a teacher? What prompted you into doing YouTube? So I answered the question, what prompted me into doing YouTube? Have I ever thought about becoming a teacher? No. Real fast before I elaborate on that, we're going to add some parsley to the top. And no, I never thought about becoming a teacher, but I've had many people tell me that I should do that. I think I get that from my mom, to be honest with you. But no, I never really thought about that. I had a counselor at my son's school, at Coliseum Junior School. They told me that I was a really good teacher in one of our meetings we had. So I thought that was a really big compliment. But no, I never thought about that. You guys know I did daycare for quite a few years, and that was enough for me. What I like to do, I don't think this is going to topple over because it's not like, you know, full like that to the brim, but I like to get a cookie sheet and I'll put this on my cookie sheet. That way, if anything does happen to broil over, which I don't think it will, it'll fall on the cookie sheet as opposed to in my oven. So we're going to put this in the oven. Right now the oven is set to 425, so I'll probably just keep it at 425 and let it bake for about 25 minutes. There were a couple questions on Instagram, you guys, and I don't know why. I thought I screenshot them, but I can't find all of the questions, but I do remember a couple of them. I don't remember who they came from, but somebody had asked how long have my husband and I been married, and we've been married for, it'll be 9 years in April, but we've been together for 12 years, almost 13 years, and then we've been married for 8 years, almost 9 years. Oklahoma's the South?
South region of the United States.
Okay, well my husband just came over here with a map. So if Oklahoma is considered the South, then I guess I do have family from the South. I was always taught that Oklahoma wasn't technically the South.
I don't know, it took me a few lookups because it seems like you have a big problem. Some people want to say these states are part, these states are.
Yeah, I mean, but it is right above Texas, so. You guys, I'm trying to remember the other questions because I remember reading them, but I just don't remember, like I said, who they came from. I'm done with the dishes. The lasagna is cooling off and the garlic bread just got done. So I'm gonna plate it. Actually, I'm gonna have my husband do a taste test and let you guys know how he likes the lasagna this way.
Favorite season, sleigh bells ringing, diamonds blinging, carols singing. Favorite season. They said, say Nick, what you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack or in my bag, yeah. They said, say Nick.
Be careful, cause it's probably still really hot.
It's alright. No, it's good.
Check my list twice. Most of y'all done. Sleigh bells ringing. Diamonds blinging.
All right, you guys, my husband's busy on the phone. But anyways, if I didn't get to answer your question, I apologize. Leave it down below. I can answer it in another video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Santa Claus pulled up, come get the loot. You better been watching what you do. None of that list you got, they gon' come true. You been good, haven't you? Santa Claus pulled up, come get the loot. You better been watching what you do. None of that list you got, they gon' come true.